All right, we are live on MKW's Facebook and YouTube. This is Chinese Wrestling Sit Down, where we sit down with wrestlers and personalities from within and out of China that have been part of the Chinese pro wrestling scene. We get a more in-depth look into who they are and their unique stories that made them become prime candidates as our focus features here on Chinese Wrestling Sit Down. I am back again. I am your host, Leung. And today's guest, or tonight's guest, depending on where you are, it's a Malaysian pro wrestler, the world's first hijab-wearing pro wrestler. She was part of Forbes' article, 30 Under 30 Asia sports and entertainment stars who are making an impact across the globe. She is Noor Phoenix Diana. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you? I'm doing good.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So we are live on MKW's Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you guys, thank you for watching live, first of all. And if you have any questions for Noor, Diana, is it Noor or Diana, or how do you want to be referred?
You can call whatever you want, Noor, Phoenix, or Diana.
All right, three
Phoenix,
names.
yeah.
All right. So if you have a question for, let's go with Diana for now. If you have a question for Diana, make sure you post it in the comments or in the chat, and I got my PA here, and we'll try to get to it. So let's get right to it. Questions I have here. So we've heard that you found out about wrestling through like a video game, right? Which game was it?
So I was playing WWE games in 2012. I think I started playing video games on PSP. So it's like PlayStation's portable, the one that
Yeah.
So yeah, I started playing with my brother. But at that times, like the games, like in the characters. So like examples like the character is Brock Lesnar, but the name is Bret Hart. So it's a different character name. So like I think like starting from that, like me and my brother started to searching all the wrestlers' name, and then from the games we started watching wrestling on TV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's quite the choice. So were there other girls who were interested in pro wrestling growing up, or was it just you?
In my siblings, I think it's only me, because I have like 4 girls and one brother. So yeah, I think it's only me and my brother. But I think in Malaysia, wrestling in Malaysia is very, very popular, especially WWE. I think
Malaysian
girls,
TV?
yeah, and I think like girls in Malaysia, like they are like there's like quite a lot like likes professional wrestling, but most of them are like very shy. Seems like I was before.
I see. So how did you first hear about Malaysia pro wrestling? Like besides being a wrestling fan yourself, what made you feel that you yourself could become a step in the ring and become a pro wrestler?
I think it started when I was 16 years old. I feel like, because when I was in high school, so like I finished high school when I turned 17. So when I was 16, I was thinking like I don't know what I wanted to be when I finished high school. Like if I wanted to continue studies and all that. But I know that I kind of like obsessed with professional wrestling. So when I was 16 years old, I don't know, I just feel like I wanted to try professional wrestling first because like of how much I like pro wrestling. And yeah, so I think when I was like 16, I tried just Google like Malaysia pro wrestling, but at that time like it came out Singapore pro wrestling. So I was like, oh okay, then maybe when I finish high school, I was planning like to go to Singapore and train there. But then like I keep on searching every day like Malaysia pro wrestling, and then like it came out. I first found out on Facebook, and then I found out them on Instagram, and then I started message with Xiaogan.
Oh, I see. So when you joined wrestling training with Xiaokat, were there other women there?
Oh yeah.
In
So
the class?
there was 3 girls. It was Poppy, Scarlet Lead, and Luna. So I remember when I went to their first show, So like back then I was very shy, so like I don't want to join if there weren't any girl. So I'll make sure that I go to the show, and like surprisingly, like they introduced like the first woman in the market, and it was Poppy. So I was like, oh, like they have a girl. So yeah, I think this is my time to join because like back then when I searched, like there weren't any girl. So like when I went there during their first shows, like I was like very happy because like there was like a first girl there.
Hmm. Yeah, so at least there's some other girls for you to train with and perhaps wrestle with, right? Other than just the men, but which is always good. So can you talk about your original mask character from when you were first started wrestling? What was the design inspired by?
So that my character came out like so that when I started training, I've never thought of any character. Like I've never like after 2 months of training, I made my first debut because like for me, I was thinking like when I joined pro wrestling that maybe in a year then I will make my debut or my first match. But then like there's because like back then they have like some issues like one of the girl cannot make it to the show. So like I get to know that I will have my debut match like 2 days before the show. So I don't know. So like I don't know what to wear. I don't know what my character is, and so basically just like everyone just brainstorming. It's like oh maybe we can go with the new Phoenix. So like Shaukat gave me the ring new Phoenix. I was like okay. And I don't know what I'm gonna wear because I was really scared to go out and just wearing my hijab because like I don't know like what they would react if they see a hijabi girl do wrestling. And so so my coach Shaka just said, oh maybe you can go there and like wearing a mask first. I was like, oh okay. So like I think starting from there, I was introduced as a luchador wrestlers. So it's so like they just give me a name Phoenix. So starting from there, I started slowly like to change my costume, my Phoenix pants, and then my gear. And I think like match after match, I found that Phoenix is really near to me because in my wrestling journey, it was really really hard because I always feel like but then I rise back again like a phoenix.
Yeah, it's a lesson for all you potential wrestlers out there. Always bring your gear, right?
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're gonna debut. So that's quite the story. Were you were you still required to wear the hijab underneath the mask and stuff?
Yeah, I'm still wearing the
Oh, okay.
hijab, but I don't think like the fans know that behind the mask is a Muslim girl.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's good because like I was really really afraid like if they're gonna like judge or something. So like I'm just really glad that they didn't know.
Yeah, if you're wearing a mask, it's good to hide your face sometimes. And why did you feel that it was time to unmask? Like, yeah, I know a lot of luchadors they don't unmask until it's like a during like a match or a gimmick match when you lose your mask. But so why did you feel it's time to lose your mask?
So basically, so I've never told like my coach or my friends in wrestling that I wanted to unmask. I just like tell my close friends like, I don't think that this character is like gonna go far because like in wrestling that there are so many wrestling names with Phoenix. So I was really doubt myself back then, and I was thinking that I am more comfortable wrestling with my hijab because like during training I don't wear mask. I only wear my hijab. And so I don't know how, but I think back in 2018, during the Wrestle Nation show, I think. Yeah, and I got told that I will be having a match like a mask versus Carrier. I don't remember what type of match, but yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of like if if I lose, I have to take out my mask. I was like, oh wow, that was so fast because I've never told Shaukat that I am going to be unmasked. So Yeah, so I think it's basically from me, but I have no intention like to disrespect like any luchador wrestlers out there because like I know like how much pride they take in wearing a mask.
Mhm.
But it's just basically a personal reason for me. Like I feel like I am more comfortable wearing a hijab.
So how did you feel about when you lost your mask? Were you like kind of relieved or sad? How did you feel?
It's so like when I took out my mask in the ring, I was crying because it's like 50-50. It's like I was happy and I was sad. Sad
Mhm.
because like the mask is a part of my journey in professional wrestling, and I remember like when I looked into the crowd and like they were saying like it's okay, you don't have to take out your mask, like we understand, and yeah, and like they started crying as well. I was like, oh wow, okay, but I'm happy because like it's it's something that I want, and I feel like when I unmasked, like I kind of started a new journey.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the last part. You started what?
I started a new journey of professional
Oh, new
wrestling. It's
journey.
like, yeah, I'm started like my new wrestling career.
I see, I see. All right, we are live here on MKW's Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you guys send in the
Hello.
questions. Yeah, hello everybody. So,
Hello,
a few
everyone.
people watching. There's a question from Adrian, the box himself. Why is Sasha Banks your favorite wrestler? I love
So
Sasha Banks
why?
also, by the way. So,
So yeah, it might sound like cliche or something, but yeah, but I think Sasha is like one of my inspiration and like somehow like give me inspiration like to join professional wrestling because like, I watched her in NXT, yeah. And like I was looking at her, I was like, oh, like she's small and that she can do stuff, like she can do wrestling. Because before I joined wrestling, I have always doubt like can I do wrestling because I was hijab and I was small. But then like yeah, when I was her, I was like, like if she can do like so am I.
someone that you can relate to, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions there?
Yes, yes,
Question
yes.
from Cornelius Lowe. Talk about your first title defense, then talk about your supportive auntie.
My first title defense.
Which title was it,
Oh
first of all?
yeah, it was. Oh yeah, so like I won my PW WrestleCon July last year, and
Mhm.
my first title defense was against Cornelius Low. um,
You
yeah,
beat
it
him though, right?
was. I did.
There you go, Cornelius.
I mean, like it was a great match, and so like, my first title defense, like I, I think it's kind of like my first debut as a championship match. Wait, no, actually my first title defense was in Philippines. Oh yeah, it was in Philippines. Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, it was with MWF, and like I was really surprised like how because like they know who I am like, in Philippines. Like, oh my god, like they know me. Yeah, it was great. I wrestled Lucha Dona from MWF. And yeah, the fans there was really supportive and very welcome.
Hmm. And what about this supportive auntie of yours? Who's that?
Oh, so I think when I went viral and then when I, like gained popularity again, I could say like my auntie and my late mother like they were both really supportive. Like they keep on like tagging me, message me on Facebook, on Twitter, WhatsApp, and like will tag all their friends. Say, like, hey, like this is Mimi, this is my daughter. I am very proud of her and all that. And then like until like I went to London and then like stayed with her for a couple months and do wrestling there.
Awesome. All right. Any more questions? Thank you, Cornelius.
Come on,
Sabil, what is a goal in your career? Any goals?
Oh, I
Thank
know
you for
it's
that
funny
question.
because like, yeah, thank you for the question. It's funny because like I've never thought like of me like joining professional wrestling that I could make a difference or like I could be in the position that I am now because I've never thought like I will be like here now. But yeah, I would say that my goal is I've always wanted to go to WWE. That is like my main goals. I would love to have a career there, and but I think as of now, I would like to go international and do more matches and experience more, so that I could gain more experience.
Mhm. Wrestling for MKW, hopefully. That's one of your goals.
Yes. My
All right, Chairman Al has a question or a statement, maybe. I feel when you losing the mask, it is not as comparable to the loss of the stable, losing the MKW title. I'm sure that motivated you to work harder to reclaim what is precious to you. Keep it up, Phoenix. There you go, a statement from the chairman himself. And follow up with a question: how would you imagine your debut in MKW ring sometime in the future?
How would I imagine?
In front of the Chinese
Uh,
fans.
hmm. uh, I feel like I've I have like dream like to wrestle there because like, I've seen the photos of like the MKW arena and I was like wow like I was so impressed like how big the arena was and like all the lights. I was like oh my god, that's like so cool and that's like so great. Um, I don't know. I'm really excited. Like I don't know like who's my opponent gonna be, but I'm just really excited to work there and then like to meet all the MKW fans.
All right, awesome. Hopefully soon. Hang on a second, my cat's. Well, they'll be here. Hey, stop it. All right, sorry. My cat's ripping away the chair. Okay, I believe that's all the questions. Hang on one second. It's always nice when my cat makes a slight appearance on the show. All right, so you've already accomplished quite a bit in less than 5 years in your pro wrestling career. Did you think that it was the fact that you were a woman in a so-called, man's world that has been wrestling until you recently that motivated you to reach so high, so quick, in such a fast rate?
For me, like I've never seen a gender as a competition. For me, like I've always seen myself as a competition and just do my very best. So like I think just like what I said before, like I've never thought like I would make such an impact in professional wrestling, and now like I really hope that I could make um just continue to inspiring more and like do more in professional wrestling.
So at the beginning of the year, you were a full-time member of Pro Wrestling Eve out in the UK. Do you see yourself going back in the UK sometime in the future for that promotion or that another promotion full-time, if possible? Especially after COVID.
Interesting question. So like as of now, so Shaukat and I are working on something new. So we are working on a new project, but I can tell that yet. So but
Oh, okay,
all
secret.
I can say is like hashtag future is it. Like it starts with an E. So yeah, but I think the news will be revealed very very soon. So keep your eye on my Instagram page or Shoutout page. And yeah, but I think like if I ever had the opportunity like to go back to London in if I will go there and like just like do wrestling because like that's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to make wrestling as my full-time career, and if I ever get to go to US, Japan, MKW, yeah, I will go.
All right, so make sure you stay tuned to that announcement real soon, and that's a good time to plug the
For
social media.
sure.
Where can we find you on social media? I have some links here.
It's at Nor Diana PW, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, so all three is
So yeah,
Nor Diana PW.
and
All
of
right, so
course,
make sure you guys check her out and follow her. And yeah, that special announcement is gonna be coming soon. So make sure you
the
follow her.
hashtag.
Hashtag
Yeah.
the future is here. And if you like me, please follow me on Twitter. I am at Al Leung. I'm actually gonna be hosting a AEW trivia on Tuesdays. That announcement is actually coming up pretty soon. So make sure you follow me on Twitter, and you can check that out. And of course, MKW's Twitter or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Facebook and Instagram is MKW China. YouTube is Middle Kingdom Wrestling, and Twitter is MKW Wrestling, and website, of course, is middlekingdomwrestling.com. Make sure you check us out. We have about 23,000, over 23,000 likes on Facebook. So make sure you give us a like if you haven't already. And all right, any more questions right now? And make sure you guys send them in. All right, Cornelius again. I forgot your first title defense was in Philippines. I meant your first title defense in I think that's Malaysia, is it? MY?
Yeah,
Malaysia.
it's in Malaysia.
I guess that's more of a statement. So.
So yeah, so my first salary once in Malaysia was against Snow, and I beat him. So yeah, that's it. That's like you guys need to know.
All right, so you've worked with so many female wrestlers like Crystal, Eni Sakura, Zeta Zhang, many other great workers in our business, both men and women, including Xiaokat. Any interesting stories from wrestling these individuals?
I've always loved to work with crystals. It's like she's like very easy to work with, and I think it's because like we have the same wavelength. And for Emma Sakura, like she's a legend, and I respect her so much. So like she is very interesting to work with because her style is very different and very intense, and I've never had like an intense match, and I think my match against her was like the longest match that I've ever wrestled. Yeah, it was like almost 15 minutes. And yeah, and with Zeta, we've only been in the ring once, but I've never really get to work with her because it was a triple threat match back in 2018. It was in SPW. So maybe I can work with her again in MKW.
All right, Adrian, if you're listening, there it is. There's a request right there. All right, so we are wrapping up. So if there's any more questions, make sure you send them in. We hope to see you here in China one day in MKW. In fact, one of Adrian's publicized dream matches is actually a match with you and Zeta. But while a single match hasn't happened yet in MKW, we heard that you went head to head with Zeta in a trivia challenge. So without any spoilers, anything you want to, any stories from there, any memories from that trivia game that you had with her?
The trivia was fun, but I did not expect like the questions was like kind of like weird, I guess, because I never really know like that, like the question in the trivia like exists, yeah. So yeah, it was.
So it wasn't
fun.
wrestling trivia. It was just like a general
No,
general
it
knowledge.
wasn't. Never. Like it's not related to wrestling, or it's like general, but I don't know like the things that are in the trivia questions like do exist sometimes. Oh, okay, but yeah, I mean I get to go one on one with trivia questions, the games, but maybe I can go one on one with her. But in real life, like a match.
All right. When COVID is done and over, MKW, Zeta versus Nor Diana. All right, we are wrapping up here. Let's check if there's any more questions for Diana here.
Questions, keep it coming.
If not, then we're gonna wrap it up. All right, let's see. Adrian has a question. How do you keep yourself still engaged as a wrestler during a period of COVID-19 right now?
So like I keep busy with I have like an online class with Shopify. So yeah, so I do like online classes every week, learning the business aspect of professional wrestling, the psychology, and study matches. I mean, like I think during COVID, like, I've learned a lot about the aspect of like the business aspect of professional wrestling, and it gives me more like I feel like I'm more motivated like to like after this COVID thinking over I want to like to do more and like somehow like improve myself more, and I feel just like really excited like to be back in the ring and then just just wrestles because what I've learned in the class is like really like something like I wanted to just wrestle and yeah.
All right. Okay, I don't know if there's any more questions. I don't think so, but I think that is it. Well, thank you, Diana, for joining us here on Chinese Wrestling Sit Down. Thank you, everybody, for watching live on Facebook and YouTube. If you didn't watch live, that's going to be up real soon, pretty much right away. And yeah, make
Thank you
sure
so
you join
much for
us.
inviting me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And let's see. I believe Alan might have a question. Last question from now. Any message would you like to send to Chinese fans before officially landing in MKW one day? Last question here from Chairman Al.
Just like to so don't ever stop supporting the wrestling scene there, MKW, and maybe if I will be there, maybe like bring some tips for. Just kidding.
All right, thank you everybody for supporting wrestling here in Asia. Make sure you support
Make
MKW,
sure stay safe,
Malaysian
guys.
Pro Wrestling. Support all the Asian wrestling scene. All right, thank you everybody for watching Chinese Wrestling Sit Down. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and thank you, Diana, for joining us once again. Have a good night, everybody.